Talking Ukraine with about a dozen world leaders, Justin Trudeau stopped in 4 countries in 4 days.
It's been about solidarity and alignment amongst leaders across Europe and indeed around the world. But more than that, it's about concrete support.
That includes $117 million to help more Ukrainians reach Canada, new sanctions, and an extension of Canada's NATO mission in Latvia. But according to government sources speaking before the trip, the goal was also to push ideas forward and launch new ones with maximum impact to stop Russia, though there was no public evidence of that.
Are there new ideas being discussed behind the scenes that you just can't share?
Yes, there are. We need to work on them with our partners because that's how we can be most effective.
A senior government source pointed to time with the new German chancellor as especially key. Trudeau and Olaf Scholz spent an unscheduled 3 hours together Wednesday night.
The Germans really wanted to talk to us.
Canada's former ambassador to Germany, Peter Beam, says a lot happens behind closed doors and being face-to-face makes a big difference.
You cannot do everything on a platform that is virtual. You can't go into the corner with your fellow leader, whether it's Boris Johnson or Mark Rutte, and say, look, can we start thinking about long-term aid and humanitarian flows? What about a global food crisis, considering that Ukraine is the 7th largest grain exporter?
Simply having the personal relationships with leaders allows you to then react that much more quickly when the next crisis point comes, as opposed to, yeah, we Zoomed once in 2020, and so now we're going to do life and death decisions together.
This former Canadian ambassador to Ukraine says most NATO leaders are in a dilemma about what to do next.
This trip didn't solve that dilemma because it's a very difficult one.
While the opposition calls for more action.
Canada needs to have some more concrete examples of what we can do. We need to make sure that we are prioritizing defense spending.
New Democrats want more aid and easier immigration pathways.
It's important he's there, he's at those tables, that he's participating. Should they and could they have done more and can do more? 100%.
Pushing back against Russia while no one can predict Vladimir Putin's next move. Abigail Bimman, Global News, Ottawa.